What is up, everybody? This is your boy, Teran Rodriguez, host of Set Point here on OATIIZ Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. We have in ourselves another Set Point Extra Point segment. And right here, I have a special treat for y'all. It's Long Beach State versus UCLA week. And I have here last year's most outstanding player in the NCAA tournament, Mr. Alex Knight of UCLA men's volleyball. Alex, how are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing this. I'm excited for the week and excited to play Long Beach. So should be fun.
Awesome. So, without any further delay, let's get on into it. But first and foremost, just so anyone here is new or just so the feds aren't watching, these are the thoughts and opinions of myself, Teran Rodriguez, and of Alex Knight, not the thoughts and opinions of UCLA, IE Sports Radio, or any third party organizations. All right. Now, with that out of the way, let's begin. So, Alex, you were last year's most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament. But before we get on into that, how did it feel winning the national championship last year for UCLA?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. It's cool to be rewarded for all the hard work you've put in. And I think something that took me a little bit of a while to realize was what lasts. And I think the thing that lasts is the journey and the ability to do that whole journey with the team and to go for 6 or 7 months and put the hard work in. It was cool to see it rewarded towards the end, but it was a great feeling also just for the alumni and the coaches and the program who we haven't won in a while. And so to be able to bring that championship back to UCLA was super awesome.
Now, you were named the most outstanding player of the tournament. I also saw that you were named All American second team. Did that kind of motivate you being All American second team to like basically show up and show out in the semifinals and national championship?
Um, I don't think so. No, I think all those rewards and or awards are super fun, but I think the thing that I was trying to focus on in that tournament was to just do as hard as I could for my team. And I think we got to a good spot where we had great connection on the court and a good culture. And so my main focus was just on how we could execute the game plan and go from there. And I think the awards are fun, but my main focus was other places.
So this week is Long Beach State week, and last year you all beat Long Beach State in the NCAA tournament in straight sets. What is that feeling like playing a storied program like Long Beach State? And do you know anyone on Long Beach State that you personally know?
Yeah, of course. It's super cool. I mean, now that I'm a fifth year, it's given me a lot of chances to reflect on my career and to be able to, when I started volleyball when I was a freshman in high school, and to play against Mason Briggs and Aiden Knipe and Clark and all those guys and Sebastian Rodriguez. And I'm sure I'm missing a couple, but we've played with each other for so long and have done the USA camps and USA trips. So to know them off the court is super fun. And then it's also fun to compete against them on the court. And so it's always fun to play against the people at the highest level in our country and out of our country. And so I'm excited for it.
Now, last week we saw the emergence of Cooper Robinson, who had back to back 20 plus kill games. What can you say about Cooper, and how much pressure does he take off the likes of Ito David, Merrick McHenry, and the entire UCLA offense?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Cooper has worked really, really hard, and I'm super happy to see him get his chance to succeed. I mean, I've seen it every day in practice for the past couple of years, ever since he's been here, but for him to get the chance and the opportunity to show all the hard work he's put in is super cool. And I think he stepped up in some really big moments this past weekend. And, when Ito's connection isn't perfect yet, or Merrick's still working on some stuff, it's nice that we have someone that can take the pressure off. And I think he's worked really hard and he deserves it. And so I'm super happy for him.
Now, none of the offense wouldn't be here without Andrew Rowan. Last year, he was a freshman. He set the ball well for you and Ethan and all the others. What is it like being partnered up with the likes of Andrew Rowan, and how much growth has he had in his journey at UCLA?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Rowan's one of the most competitive guys I've ever met. And so it's super nice to have that in the setter because you can look in their eyes and they're always finding out how they can best win the game or win the point, or he's just super energetic. And so Rowan's a great person to play with. And I think he's put a lot of hard work in and try to develop different parts of his game. He's been working on his defense, which isn't fully there yet, but I think he'll get there by the end of the year. And so, yeah, it's just super nice. I mean, Rowan's probably one of the best setters I've ever played with. And so it's good to know that he has confidence in me. And so that gives confidence in myself to go out there and do what I need to do.
Now, Ethan Champlin, one of the players I talked about, last week I saw he took on the libero role when you all played UC Irvine at UCLA. Tell me, what's it like having Ethan Champlin at the libero position, and how much of a leader is Ethan Champlin?
Yeah, I mean, the cool part about Ethan is that he has such a good volleyball IQ that we kind of need him on the court no matter what position he's in. And I think that just speaks volumes to the depth of this team and how people are willing to be unselfish and, play libero when they want to play outside or, not kind of get the role that they want, but they're able to find ways to still make an impact on the court and even on the bench. And I think we could probably put anyone out there and we'd have full confidence in them. But Ethan's a super steady player and he's a good communicator on the court. And so, it's a lot. It helps me a lot when I'm able to pass next to him.
Now, you mentioned the depth on this team. That's a perfect segue to go into my next question. Talk about the depth on this team and how deep is this team in the pursuit of winning a second straight national championship?
Yeah, I mean, it's super awesome. I think it's our secret weapon. I think our ability to have such high level practices and have the talent we have that's on the bench is just super motivating for guys that are on the court because they know that they're being pushed to their limit because on any given day, any player on our bench could come in. I mean, the fact we have Zach Rama on the bench or, Cooper or Champ or me or, Grant Sloan or a lot of these guys, it's just super incredible because we have such a talented team, but we also have the ability to come together and still execute the game plan no matter who's out on the court. So I think it's our secret weapon.
Now, last week he got a little bit of a test against UC Irvine. The Anteaters obviously are a well-formed team. I saw them last night against USC. What was it like facing UC Irvine, and how were you all able to grind out two big wins over the Anteaters?
Yeah, I mean, they're a super good team. I think they bring a lot of pressure from the service line. They obviously have Heno, who's a great server, and we spent the whole week kind of just preparing for him. And, he's a lefty, which we don't normally see, but our ability to train super well. We have a kid in our team, David Decker, who's a lefty. So he was hitting serves at us all week long and gave our passers the reps to be able to go out there and perform. So it was a total team effort. A lot of guys stepped up in different areas and guys coming off the bench, making good impacts. And it was a really good couple team wins that hopefully gave us momentum into this week.
Now, what's it like being coached by John Speraw and some of his other coaches? And feel free to give me any memorable moments with Speraw or the other UCLA coaches.
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool that they're all ex-Bruins. I think they care a lot about this program and obviously they're current Bruins, not their coaches, but they also played here. And so it's a cool perspective to get to understand them as a player, them as a coach. And I think they've just provided so much feedback for me as a player, but also as a person. And I think that personal development aspect is what they do really, really well. And so they've taught me how to be a better leader as a fifth year or as the past couple of years. And so I'm super grateful to be coached by them. They have some of the best volleyball knowledge I've ever met and kind of, Spera knows what's going to happen before it even happens sometimes. So it's super awesome to be coached by them.
Now, obviously, this week is what matters most, and nothing else does. To partially quote an MPSF men's volleyball coach. But next week, MPSF play does begin, and you got Pepperdine on the docket. How tough do you think the MPSF is going to be, and what will it take to have another undefeated run and obviously win the big one, the MPSF tournament?
Yeah, I think the MPSF is super tough, and I think honestly, my mind is, as you said, more focused on Long Beach right now. But I'm sure once we get into the zone of each MPSF team, we'll lock in on the scouting report and try to take care of business one by one. But I think there's some good teams in MPSF, and we'll definitely be challenged. I think also as defending national champions, everyone wants to beat us, and so they're going to bring their best game. And I think that will just even help us develop for the end of the year because we'll be battle tested and we'll have gotten every team's best game.
That's actually a perfect segue into my next question. Obviously, you all are the reigning national champs, and everyone wants to take their best shot at you. Do you think there's a target on UCLA's back and everyone is basically bringing their A game toward you? Or what's the mindset of you being national champions and trying to defend your title?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I think we felt it when we played Hawaii last year, and um, it's super cool. It's really hard to, it's a lot easier to be not on the top and to have someone to chase, and it's a lot harder to be at the top and have everybody chasing you. But I think we're kind of leaning into that a little bit more as the season's going on. And I think it might have brought a little bit of pressure in the beginning, but we're figuring out ways to deal with that. And I think we're getting into a good spot with our team culture and our ability to perform on the court. And so I think it's a cool thing that everyone wants to beat us. And I think it'll just help us for the end of the year because I mean, we've gone to five a lot of games already this year, and we haven't swept a lot of teams. So it's been a challenge mentally and emotionally and physically. So I think it's just going to help prepare us for the end of the year.
And you being a fifth year senior or fifth year player for UCLA, what have been some of your most favorite and memorable moments on UCLA? And you can include the national championship if you wish.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, honestly, I would say the national championship. That's like the obvious answer, but honestly, it was like the locker room before the national championship where we all huddled around and, had a nice little moment where we understood that we've worked super hard all year long and we're about to go compete for the last time. And I think those kind of moments are the things that will stick with me the most because I love this team. I love this program. And I think I know I'm definitely going to miss it when I'm gone, but just the small moments on the bus when you're with your team or, after games when you're all excited in the locker room, I think those will be the moments I'll remember the most. And then, obviously the championship in the ring was super fun, but yeah, it's been a great experience so far. So I'm definitely going to miss it.
Now, I don't know if you have any plans after college, but do you plan to play pro in terms of volleyball, or what are your plans for after college?
Yeah, that's my plan right now. So I'm looking around for agents right now, and then I'll see what my options are after season ends. And so I am trying to get healthy right now a little bit with my body. Obviously, 5 years, the body takes a toll a little bit. So that's what I'm trying to focus on. And then I'm sure I'll put some more mental energy into what I'm doing next year. But my plan is to play pro and pursue a chance at the national team.
Excellent. Now, this week, circling back to this week, it's Long Beach State week. And obviously, the Big West Conference has been stacked from top to bottom. Obviously, Santa Barbara took a win off y'all. Hawaii is still looking good. UC Irvine obviously was tough. What can you say about the talent from the Big West Conference, not just from this year, but last year as well?
Yeah, I think the Big West is super strong also. I think a lot of the rankings and all that stuff go out the door when people play us. I mean, even you go back to our Lewis game early in the year, that was one of the toughest games we've played. I mean, it honestly doesn't matter who's on the court. I think each team is going to give us their best game and their best shot. And I think that's something that we've had to lean into a little bit this year. But um, it's been super fun playing the Big West teams. Obviously, we'll probably see a couple of them in the end of the year. So it's good to get reps against them and to kind of hone in on some of their players' tendencies. And I think we've put some of that stuff in our back pocket for the end of the year. And so I'm excited that we've had the chance to play them so far. It's been a good challenge.
Now, fill in the blank for me. UCLA repeats as national champions if blank.
It's like really, it's a really good question. If, I think we can relax a little bit and play our game, play 1 point volleyball at a time. There's a lot of expectations and pressure that, other people feel. And I think we've kind of felt that a little bit in the fall, but I think if we can just focus on playing our game and play 1 point volleyball, I think we should be fine.
Excellent answer. Now, before I let you go, obviously we're a little short on time, but where are some of your favorite spots on the UCLA campus? And where do you go just to hang out after like practice or after a game or anything of that sort?
Yeah, UCLA's campus is so beautiful. Unfortunately, it's raining today, but or it was yesterday. But I like to go to Jan Steps. There's a nice little grassy area out there. And so people have hammocks and zip lines and stuff like that out there. And so that's a nice area. I love our athletic training center where you get to meet other athletes and kind of hang out with them and see how their seasons are going or just be able to talk to them. I think it's super cool to be at UCLA and be around the best talent in the country. And so I would say Acosta, our athletic training center, and then Jan Steps are my two favorite spots.
And then the last question, and then we'll end it off right there. After a win, or maybe after a tough loss, where is your favorite go-to spot when it comes to like going to get something to eat post game?
That's a good question. First, I like to start off in the ice bath to give the body a little chance to recover. But then, let's see, there's a good place in Westwood called Ami Sushi. Our team likes to go there after some wins to celebrate. Or I would say BJ's Brew House has good Pazookies for a post-game win. So I would say either of those two are the spots.
Awesome. Those are some great choices. Well, Alex, I thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule and letting me interview you for a little bit. So, do you have any like plugs or social media outlets or shout outs that you want to give before I end this off?
Yeah, just a shout out to our whole team. I mean, we've put in a lot of work, and I think it's nice to be interviewed, but there's a lot of people that go into this, our trainers, our weightlifting coach, nutritionists, across the board. This program does a really good job to support us. So just a special thanks to those people. And then my Instagram handle is AlexKnight12. I post every now and then. But yeah, so thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And thanks for covering the sport.
No problem, Alex. Thank you for your time. That was my interview with Alex Knight, last year's most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament and of UCLA men's volleyball. And thank you all for watching this one-on-one interview. I will see you all at the games this week.
Thank you.